Select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see lots of sunshine, highs in the low to mid 80s. The south wind will be gusty in the north up to 30 miles an hour. Increasing clouds tonight with an isolated rain shower possible across the north. Lows in the low to mid 60s. Partly sunny on Wednesday with scattered rain showers in the north. Highs in the low to mid 80s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3, ERX Paris Fort Smith. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
But they even one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
All right, here we go. Halftime, Tuesday, March 31st. Tomorrow's April Fool's Day. Wonder if you guys got any cool April Fool's jokes, any tricks you pull on anybody. Phil Elson, halfway up the air, I guess. I think where they headed? Unit they headed to Columbia, South Carolina.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, they're.
Oh wait,
Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield, Missouri. Can you turn? All right, there we go. Springfield, Missouri. We got Clay Henry with us for a few hours today. Unit on the controls. Clay, first time we've talked since the Sweet 16, Elite 8. Got a lot going on. Got some fishing trips. Got the NFL draft coming up. NBA playoffs coming up. Major League Baseball's just started. Augusta in a couple weeks. Final Four. I mean, what a fun thing, fun deal we get to do. Talk on the radio. So much sport going on. How you been, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Matt. Look forward to today. It's my only day with y'all. You, I guess. Phil will be with you tomorrow. And I think he's on a bus on the way to Springfield.
They bus there, then they're flying.
Then they fly.
Right. Yeah.
I think they fly tonight after the game, on a charter. See, it's a Thursday start to the series in Auburn.
Okay.
So
is it Easter or coming up this weekend? Is that why?
Yeah, they're not playing on Easter.
Yeah.
And hey, I may be fishing on Easter. My wife told me, Gene Enns says I'm going to catch the devil.
Ooh, just throw him back. Catch and release. That's right.
I'll throw him into the abyss.
We speaking of baseball, let's kind of dive in a little bit. We'll tell you if you guys want to get in with us, please do 877-377-6963. We'll get into some basketball a little bit later, but this baseball team, the rumblings I'm hearing, is this how worried are you that this team isn't going to make a regional?
Oh, I think we're still a ways out.
Maybe they don't host a regional, but they'll
I
still
think
make
that
one.
Their RPI is pretty low. I mean, pretty, I guess you would say, down than normal. They usually have an RPI that's in the top 15, and I mean it's way down there because of some of the games that they lost to teams that weren't strong. but I think Florida might be pretty good. That's what we have to you have to put everything in perspective. How good is Florida? How talented are they? And also, can Arkansas play a little better than they did? And this past weekend, and I think they can. You know, they've got 4 teams that were invited to the USA National tryouts, and not all 4 of those guys are going great guns right now. But they're really talented. And I think that there's still a lot of the season. You know, Chuck Barrett has told me forever and ever, baseball is a marathon, not a sprint. And all you have to do is get in a regional. You don't have to host.
Well, and I hear what you're saying. I guess the question would be so you're telling me it's not a lack of talent. Is it maybe more we got to get out of our own way a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that, you know, the coaches, Dave Van Horn and his coaches, they're mixing and matching now. They're still, you know, they're going with some of the older players, but I think maybe some of the younger players are about to get their turn. And these are really talented guys, and you know there's some concern with Damian Ruiz. You know, he might have tweaked his knee on a jump at the fence last weekend. I don't think it's serious, but they were going to MRI it, and you probably will get that word. Maybe in Phil's pregame he might have that information tonight. The guys that need to get going, you know, kind of the 2 of the guys that were on that tryout for the U.S. national team, and Ryder Helfrich played on that team. He's those 2, Cam Koziel and Ryder Helfrich, you know, they have not hit in SEC play. They did in the non-con, but they haven't really busted out in the SEC. Now, it looks to me like people are pitching around them. Both of them have piled up a lot of walks. So that will tell you that the guys around them, if they start getting on base, then you got to pitch to those guys. What I've seen in the games they've lost is the opposition has pitched really well with no walks. And, for instance, Sunday, Florida pitchers walked 1 batter. Mm-hmm. And Arkansas usually has a huge advantage in strikeouts versus walks. Their pitchers, you know, pile up the strikeouts, no walks, and Arkansas usually gets walks, and that's the nature of college baseball. And right now that's not happening. You know, I think that the first 2 games, Arkansas's pitchers looked like they might have been nibbling a little bit, piled up the walks. In that last game, you know, 17 hits allowed. Hey, they weren't going to walk anybody. Well, then all at once you're leaving it in the middle of the plate, and it comes zipping right past your head. But I've seen the turnarounds in college baseball too many times to count them out yet. It's not good. I mean, let's be honest. They're not playing great. But there's still time to do that. The main thing that kind of gives me a little bit of the little light at the end of the tunnel is that their pitching they haven't had injuries. You know, if you go back to 2016, which was, you know, the losing season where Arkansas finished out the season like losing 14 out of 15 or something. I don't have the numbers. That was all because of the front end arms getting hurt, and they had to go with young players. I think that, you know, guys like Baxendale and Blaine Knight, Isaiah Campbell, some of those guys pitched before they were ready, you know, like freshmen, young players. And then down the line, you know, that helped them. I don't worry because of the arms. I think that they'll tweak the mechanics. Matt Hobbs is really good at that, to where they're a little more exacting in their location. You know, it's location. That's what they talk about. You know, when you build in the retail business, you know, what's your location? You know, McDonald's doesn't put those stores in bad locations, and pitchers better put that ball in the right location. They haven't done that in a consistent way. To me, that's their biggest problem. And then on the hitting side, is not swinging at pitches outside the zone. Location, understanding the strike zone, both from a pitching and hitting standpoint.
How much do you think it's unfair? Because I worry about this with this freshman class basketball, the point guard coming in. All we're going to do is compare him to A-Cup, and it's not fair to the kid. How much of this baseball team are we comparing it to how good the team was last year? And the team's actually good. They're just not as good as they were last year. Do you think we're being a little unfair?
Yeah, well, here's I've heard criticism of the hitting coach. Well, the hitting coach is the guy that coached last year's hitters to 127 home runs.
9 guys had 10 home runs.
Yeah, I mean, he can coach. So far, maybe they didn't evaluate, some of the guys. Yeah, I think they probably put a little bit too much on Carson Brumbaugh at the start of the season. He was preseason SEC Freshman of the Year. He's kind of disappeared, and both from an error standpoint and swing and misses. So they've had to make adjustments from what they liked in the fall. That happens sometimes, and sometimes those juniors, they're thinking about the draft and they put a little bit too much pressure. I mean, I've seen junior swoons before, where it's like, I'm trying to do more than I can. You're trying too hard, and I really believe there's talent here. There may not be home run talent like last year, but that I don't think you're talking about school record type home run power. But it's Dave Van Horn generally figures it out.
They'll get the most out of his guys. I think you're right. Well, we're going to continue on talking a little baseball, a little basketball. I think at the bottom of the hour, Christian, correct me if I'm wrong, we get a Alyssa Orange, and then in the third hour at the 2:30 mark, we get Bill King.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then we have you guys. We have Fisherman Clay Henry with us for 3 hours. We have the unit pushing the buttons for 3 hours as well. And so we'll just keep on trucking right along, and we'll be back right after this.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's almost over. The ultimate challenge here at Lewis Automotive Group, our biggest one yet. We're so close to selling 600 vehicles in the month of March. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models. Payments starting at $199 a month, only for a limited time at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Are you leaning a certain way in this Final Four? If you're going to be in it to win it. Head to mybookie.ag. Use code HOGS, that's HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it. Win from it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back, and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right. There we go. Little Blur song number 2. I can get with it. If you want to get with us, please do. 877-377-6963. Is it still the Lewis Automotive Hotline? There we go. Christian Johnston on the controls today. Phil Elson will be back tomorrow for everybody missing Phil. And we got Fisherman Clay Henry today. So we're going to continue to have a good show. I want to go a little bit into the basketball lands and talk about this NCAA tournament, the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, and now we have our Final Four, and kind of get your thoughts on that. We talked a little bit. Phil thinks that it's one of the best shots like an NCAA tournament history type thing, and I said, well, if it's not UConn, maybe so, and if UConn wins the title, then maybe so. And that kind of goes back to what I was talking about in the first segment, that the expectations there. UConn's the most decorated college basketball team in our lifetime. They got 5 national titles since '99. It's a shot in the Elite 8 to go to the Final Four is so cool. If it would have been the St. Louis Billikens, if it had been Virginia Tech. Now, if they go on and win it, you're going to look back at that shot. And I go back to this too, Clay. Last year in the at Omaha, we throw a no-hitter in Game 2. Nobody's talking about that. We're talking about how we lost to LSU, because the goal in a team sport is to cut down the nets, to win a trophy.
Yeah, you go back to U.S. Reed's half-court shot to eliminate defending champion Louisville. Louisville was rolling pretty good at that particular point, and it looked like they had the game. and he hits the half-court shot. I was there for that game.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did you think we were going to win? Was it kind of like the UConn game? Because UConn, the whole game, you're like, they're not going to win. They make a little run, you're like, they're still not going to win. Then all of a sudden, turnover, boom, it's in. Were you feeling? How were you feeling during the game?
Now you're testing 40 years ago.
I got you.
I'm gonna think that the game was going back and forth. That there wasn't one team that you thought, oh, you've blown a big lead or whatever. It was going back and forth, pretty tight. And Arkansas has to go the length of the court just a couple of seconds, maybe 3 or 4. And they inbounded it, and he got a couple of dribbles, and then he kind of had to jump sideways to launch it. There were two big Louisville forwards, I think, at half court, and he kind of went to the side to launch it. The crazy thing is that, everybody ran on the court, and U.S. Reed kind of escaped it, the celebration. He came out of the side of it and wasn't in it, and walks over to, this is back when the media was along the court. And he walked over to my dad and I are sitting side by side. He walked over and started shaking hands like he was a proud father, and just started going down the media shaking hands. It was the most bizarre thing ever. It's like, we're sitting at our I don't think it was laptops. It's probably typewriters in those days. We're sitting at our and comes U.S. Reed just shaking hands. Yeah, and he remembers that every time I see him. He's like, I think you're the first hand I shook. I said, I believe it was.
That's awesome.
But that wasn't, that Arkansas didn't go, any
they lose
further.
The next game, yeah.
Yeah, but that they did eliminate the defending champs, so that's what that was about. But this was such a dramatic turnaround. It's like, I don't know. I could imagine how Duke was going to lose the game. I mean, it's like they got it. Just hold the ball. You don't have to cross half court. They're going to foul you. You don't have to pass it. Just wait till they foul you. And, of course, he jumps up and tries to throw it. And it's like he's the GOAT. There isn't any doubt about that.
No, it's and I we did talk about a little bit about this too, that now I'm hearing that buzz unit. Are you hearing that? It's so the game, it's a culmination of events. It's a culmination of plays. But we all remember that last play. I remember getting ready for playoff football in Jacksonville, and we're talking about the game, and you can't win the game in the first quarter, but you sure can lose it in the first quarter. And so what happens in games like that is it's a heightened sense of awareness. It's you got to pay attention to situational moments. You got to know down and distance. You got to know shot clock. There's all the things you have to know as far as having a little bit of awareness. And it's not. And I know he's the scapegoat. I get that. But there's a lot of other plays that led to that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Go
and when you watch golf, which is the ultimate individual sport, and you're playing against the golf course, and I'll hear somebody say, "Well, we've had several weeks in a row where the leaders choked it away." Well, that's the nature of that game. Almost no one, takes the 54-hole lead and closes it out. I mean, Tiger Woods did it, Jack Nicklaus did it, but they were superhuman.
We just saw it on Sawgrass. My favorite Swede, a Berg, that.
Oh yeah.
And he had the lead and then choked it out. Yeah.
So, but what happens is if you're coming from behind, the mentality is to attack. You're going after it. So
nothing to lose mentality.
So the guy that's coming from behind, I mean, if you'll look at the winners throughout history on the PGA Tour, the guy that's 3 shots back or 2 shots back, that you think, well, the other guy, shot, he shot 72. Well, all it takes is 2 or 3 holes to flip that, that 3-shot lead around. You make a bogey, they make a birdie. That's 2 right there. And he makes 2 birdies. Well, all at once it's gone. But the mentality of the leader is really tough. And that's why I really give Gary Woodland all the praise in the world, what he was going through, and to have the lead and then to extend it, that just doesn't happen. Usually the leader, you're okay. I'm just gonna make pars. Well, all once you're making a bogey, and the mentality needs to be, I'm behind and play like I'm behind. Well, that's not very easy to do. And the same thing is true in team sports. It's like when the momentum flips and you think, well, I had a big lead. Well, it goes quick.
Match play golf is like that. Whenever you go to these country clubs and you'll have a member guest weekend and it'll be match play, and when it's not stroke play, it seems like somebody can get a little momentum, hit a shot, then all of a sudden you get 3 birdies out of 4 holes, and you'd be 2 up with 5 to go, and it's exactly what you're talking about. It's like, well, what do we have to lose? We're going to go for it and play our game.
In amateur golf, I can go back, and I'm not going to mention the names, but I saw a guy have a 6-shot lead in the state amateur. He lost by 7. Woo! 15-shot swing. One guy shot 70, other guy shot 85. I mean, it's like, and it wasn't even close at the end.
Hey, we got a message from Doc in Omaha, Clay. It's for you. He's going to Maine in the September, and he wanted some intel from you. He said, "Have you ever been up to Maine, and how's the fishing up there?"
It's you go for brook trout, but yeah, it's fall in Maine is terrific. Maine is a massive wilderness area. There's some towns, but if you look at it, 80% of it is lakes and swamps and little streams. So yeah, you definitely want to take your waders and your fly rod to Maine.
Cool. How cool. So, hey, this is the most basketball. So I watch the Hogs, I watch the Razorbacks football, I watch Razorbacks basketball, and I watch soccer. That's and then you watch Super Bowl, you watch Augusta, you watch certain events, but I can't watch everything. So I don't watch a lot of other teams, Clay. But then in the tournament, I get to see some of these teams. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this Final Four? All of them have a chance. Arizona the favorite in your mind?
Well, we saw a lot of Arizona because the Razorbacks played them, but I picked Michigan, and I'm going to stick. That's my bracket champ, and I'm going to stick with it. And it's gone back and forth. I think maybe the point spread early on was Arizona, then it flipped to Michigan yesterday afternoon. I don't know what it is today, but it's gone from 1.5 point Arizona to 1.5 point, I think, Michigan. What's the spread now?
I see it as, well, I'm just looking on the ESPN website. Maybe Unit I have it, but do you think it's kind of, is it Michigan or Arizona is the favorite? Then the winner of that game you think wins it? It's Michigan 1.5 right now.
So this is another thing to kind of watch, is that you can kind of, if you're one of those two teams, you're focused on, well, the biggest challenge is, if you're Arizona, you think, well, Michigan is the biggest challenge. They're a true number 1 seed, and if we get by them, then we've got it. And there's only a 2-day turnaround, and you can see throughout history, teams that they won a really thrilling game in that semifinal on Saturday.
Houston last year did that to Duke, and then they kind of hurt them against Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, and that you think, well, I beat the team that I had to beat, and Illinois is not as good, or UConn's not as good. That's danger, Will Robinson.
Hey, we have if you want to get in with us on Lewis Automotive Hotline, we do have a phone caller, Jawan, 877-377-6963 to get in with us like Jawan did. Jawan, what's up, dude?
What's up, Matt? I just want to hit on a couple of things. The other day, you asked Phil a question about the basketball team, that if our window was closing for a championship, and I believe so. I do. I believe so. This is one of the best Razorback teams we've seen in a while, and I look at how many blowout losses we had this year. We went down to Auburn. We got demolished. Florida demolished us. Even though we didn't get beat bad, Kentucky, they came here at home and Bud Walton and beat us. We got into the tournament. Yeah, we played pretty good the first game against Hawaii. High Point gave us a little bit of a struggle, and then Arizona blew our doors off. So I'm looking at when we play against, like, the top competition, like when we played against Michigan State this year, we played against Houston this year. We didn't beat any of the teams that we deem elite in college basketball.
Was
this year.
Louisville our best win this year?
Louisville is easily our best win. And if we would have got the Alabama win, that would have been a good one. But when we played against the legit teams, we didn't do very well. And those teams aren't going to get any worse next season. Just like we're pulling in top All-Americans, and these other teams are too. Dan Hurley is the best coach up there at UConn in basketball. I agree with you, Matt. Like, UConn is the premier basketball team in college basketball. They're not going to get any worse. They just won a championship a couple years ago. And, like, just as a hog, it's just a little frustrating because I'm waiting for us to win in anything. I'm praying for a win. Baseball, basketball, anything. Football. And it's like, are we going to get over the hump? I'm waiting for our baseball team to bring a pennant home, a College World Series, and LSU's just done it twice in 2023 and 2025. So do y'all think we will win a chip in anything, like in the next 5 years, is my question to you and Clay.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Clay.
I would argue a little bit on the best win.
Texas Tech, is that your best win, you think?
I'd say Tennessee.
Tennessee,
too.
yeah.
That was the first game in the conference season, and out-rebounded them, blocked 10 shots, probably our best defensive game. And I think that as the season went along, things changed with the roster. And you go back to, okay, well, what'd you have against Texas Tech and Tennessee that you didn't have at the end? Well, it's Carter Knox.
Yeah, we missed Carter Knox in that Arizona game.
And then the second thing is that you know, you played with two injured players, and you know, Nick Pringle wore a back brace every minute that he wasn't on the basketball court down the last 6 weeks of the season. I don't know when Darius Acuff hurt his ankle, but it's offensively, you know where you're going and you can protect your ankle. Defensively, you don't. And I don't think he was quite the same defensively down the stretch. But I just don't think you can play defense with six.
My thing is, I don't know if the defensive window's out past Cal. That's what I'm thinking. I think he's going to get a guard, and it's hard to play defense with freshman guards. But I think offensively we're going to be fine. I don't know if Coach Cal can get a team to play defense enough because he
did last year.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what they won with.
And Texas Tech just big boyed us for the last 6 minutes, and
But I thought they were gritty the last month of the season. You know, after going
last year's
like
team was
1-5.
a better defensive team than this year's team.
So
I agree with you there.
In throughout history, he's been able to coach defense. It's sometimes I thought they were better defensively than offensively, and I think I talked with Nolan Richardson about 90 minutes on Sunday, and we talked extensively about defense, and he says it starts in recruiting. And I was like, you recruit defensive players? He goes, you recruit toughness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you don't recruit toughness, now, you know, when I think about Billy Richmond, he oozed toughness. And I think DJ Wagner did.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see toughness on the block. I didn't see toughness offensively or defensively on the block. They were too easy to allow the other team to assert their will. And I also think that you can't play defense when you're playing 45 minutes. Like the overtime game at Alabama.
You need 8. I agree with you there.
And, you know, it's like I just think you have to have some kind of a rotation that gets you some proper rest in the first half and the second half. And then I want to see more versatility in the defense. Without question, Arizona wanted to take it to the rack or get to the mid-range. You know, they made a lot of mid-range shots, you know, inside the lane, like 12-footers. They did that against Tennessee too. You cannot overguard them on the perimeter. Now, they can make threes, but you got to make them take threes. And I thought Arkansas played a little bit too tight, and so I just want to see more versatility in the defense. And I think maybe Cal knew what he had, and as far as the defensive intensity, sometimes you'd see it at the outset, and as the game went along, and you didn't have the proper rest, and they might summon a little bit of defense for a stop or two at the end, but they've relied too much on the offense. But I saw solid defense against Tennessee in that early. Now Tennessee missed a lot of free throws in that game, but I thought that was a big win at the time. And when you look at how it all played out, that was an Elite 18.
Hey, Juwan, you still there?
I'm sorry, Juwan.
No, we got a break anyways. We got Alyssa Orange coming up. Hey, Juwan, thanks for the phone call.
Juwan usually is. I mean, I'm with him 100% most times.
No, we love this. Yeah, and the cool thing about the radio show is we can disagree a little bit. That we're still cool. So we'll have one of our coolest, Alyssa Orange, coming up after this.
Is the visor just so no one sees how ugly you are?
This is Halftime.
Superstars Joe Klein and Tat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong. Right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang. Why's that?
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
I said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure, but the inside of a Crunchwrap slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing, and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
ServiceMasterClean.com. When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at ServiceMasterPC.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Who's fast up they can make a dead like I'm behind. Until my business if I can't get a trick. Down on set, I'm on a double tricks off a kid.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Woo! Weezer. Nice, unit. We're efforting Alyssa. Maybe, Phil's gone, substitute teacher. Sometimes it's just a worksheet day. Maybe it's a movie day. We get. It's a day for the fans though, and for the listeners. Please give us a shout if you want to on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. That's 877-377-6963. The unit on the board, and Fisherman Clay Henry with us as well. We talking a little bit about this ABS rule in Major League Baseball, Clay, and I was going to get Alyssa's thoughts. I know she's a Dodgers fan, but the Yankees last night, I don't know if you saw any of this. I didn't see any. I just saw the headline. I wonder if you think if this is good for baseball or bad for baseball. The Yankees go 5 for 5 on challenges. NFL has challenge. I've never seen a team go 5 for 5 in challenges. Is that a good thing? Or does that mean the umps that like how do you miss on 5 of them?
Well, if there's 200 or 300 ball and strike calls during the game, I don't know. It's like 100 for one team, 120 for the other, and you think, well, that there's 5 missed calls. Man, that seems like a normal game.
95% still though. Yeah.
So, have you ever umpired, Matt?
I've refereed. I've not been behind the plate. No, sir.
When I was in college, I umpired the Conway Legion Code. I was at my last year. I was at the the Conway Log Cabin, and I made $85 a week. So I was trying anything I could to pay the rent, and so I got rooked into umpiring and balls and strikes. And everybody was yelling at me, and I threatened to quit one time, and then both the managers of the Morrilton Legion team and the Conway Legion team was like, "You're better than the other guys, so please stay." I don't know what kind of compliment that was, but they said my strike zone was really low. If it was over the plate, I pretty much called it a strike.
Yeah.
I was too high, but mainly too low. I would have appreciated. A little help. Like, okay, if I was the thing that is about the time the ball's going back to the pitcher, he's like, "Oh, I know I missed that one," and everybody's yelling, "I know I missed it," but just go on. You just have to play on. So I think those guys are going to miss some. I mean, even the best. So I think that 3 to 5 times a game, a manager ought to be able to say, "Hey, what about that?" And I guess it's the player that looks at the manager and says that was outside, or that was whatever. But in watching a college game, Dave Van Horn he's in the dugout, and he can see where that ball clips the knees or comes through there, if it's low or not, or if it's high. If they miss it, I think that, and the key is that you need to have a boom. It's the reviews is automatic, like what they have, automatic balls and strikes. I'm not against that if it's correcting something that, if a guy got called out on a bad pitch and it determined the game, well, that to me it's a good thing.
Yeah, and speaking of determining the game, I watching when UConn, when their player hit that shot live and you had like half the team run out on the court, would you have been opposed if the referee would have called a technical on the UConn coaching staff and players? Because there was still time I mean, by the rule, the ref could have called a technical and Duke could have shot free throws.
Yeah, I think they did that right.
Okay.
But you're right. It's a violation. But I see a lot of things that, okay, let's use good judgment.
Yes.
Let's do the right thing in those situations. And by and large, the reviews have been pretty good in the NCAA tournament. Every once in a while, I was like, there was one where goaltending was called, and it wasn't goaltending, and the team clearly got the rebound, and they said that the official blew his whistle a split second before the guy had possession of the ball. So they gave it to Tennessee out of bounds, which I was like, that's the wrong call. But by the rule, it's okay if the ball is still in the air when they blew the whistle on the goaltending, which they got it wrong. I think that's, again, it's like, oh, we can tell that team got the ball. It's like, I think judgment overrules sometimes the letter of the law.
Yeah,
have good judgment.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Did you get a chance to see USA men's national team versus Belgium over the weekend as they're tuning up for World Cup?
I just saw the highlights, and it looked like the Belgium dismantled them in the second half.
Yeah, we scored first, and then McKinney missed one. He didn't miss one. He just kicked it right at the goalkeeper, but it was off of a corner kick. So we could have had a little lead, but Belgium, that's a top 12 team in the world. So no shame in that.
Yeah, when you forget how good Holland, Belgium, Germany, France, Croatia,
Senegal.
Yeah, how good those teams are. Man, daughter Sarah and I are going to Chicago I think it's June 6th to watch USA Germany in the last friendly before the World Cup.
They were talking about that. I'm trying my best, Clay, to get tickets for the semifinal in Jerry's World, July 14th.
Ooh, that's some coins.
I don't make as much money as you, but I'm trying to find a way to make that happen, because that's it doesn't even matter what the teams are. You don't know. You could get an England, Brazil. You could get a Belgium, Spain. Who knows what you're going to get? But hopefully, because they're doing one.
At that point, they're going to be two quality teams.
Yeah, it's Final Four. They're doing one day in Dallas. The next day, they're playing a game in Atlanta. Then the championships in New York up there. So that concludes our soccer talk, and I do appreciate that for the afternoon.
That was my fault.
And Unit, well, let's go pay some bills, and we'll come back and wrap up this first hour.
People of Arkansas, I believe, are ready for a revolution.
This is halftime.
Financing as low as 0% on brand new Fords at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. 0% financing, matching down payments. There's a deal on every car.
There really is, Tommy. It is truck month going on now, Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, and that's just not enough. The 0% finance and the money off, that's not enough for you. We want to go to work. We want to make it happen. So now we're going to be matching your down payment up to $2,000. And here's the deal. We're talking about the 0% interest on the new trucks, right? But here's the deal. You can be looking at something used out there, and we're still going to match your down payment up to that $2,000. So new or pre-owned, it doesn't matter. Like I said, let us go to work for you. Let us make it happen. Let us match your down payment up to $2,000.
And you've got the selection right now.
Yes, we do. We've got the selection to choose from. Car, truck, van, SUV. Heck, we've got an 18-wheeler back there for sale. So come and see us. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford. Let us go to work for you. Let us earn your business.
1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Online at harryrobinson.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
It's your favorite time of year, March Madness, and the #1 place to get all your alcohol this basketball postseason is Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. Located at 9390 Rogers Avenue, Eastside Liquor has everything you need. Dave Bushko and his team have all your beer, seltzers, wine, liquor, and more. Eastside Liquor, they always come up clutch in the postseason.
Looking for a fun way to get your kids outside and learning a new skill? The Ben Guerin Youth Golf Academy is teeing off March 24th, open to ages 3 through 16. This exciting program teaches the fundamentals of golf in a fun, encouraging environment for beginners and young players of all skill levels. Spots are limited, so don't wait to get your young golfers signed up. And while you're thinking about golf, Ben Guerin Golf Course is still offering 2026 annual memberships. Enjoy a year of great golf at one of the most played golf courses in the River Valley. Call 479-646-5301 or visit Ben Guerin Golf Course today to learn more and register.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, your Xerox authorized dealer in the River Valley. Xerox is more than just a brand, it's your ultimate business partner. Whether you need high-speed printers, powerful copiers, or seamless cloud solutions, Xerox has the tools to keep your business running smoothly and efficiently. And right now, for a limited time, we're offering a free Xerox color printer with the lease or purchase of many Xerox models. To learn more, call us at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, your partner in business success.
Fort Smith, get ready to fondue it at TGI Fridays. We're turning up the flavor with our all-new Fondue It menu. For just $3, you can upgrade your favorite Fridays classic with a warm tableside cheese pour served on a sizzling cast iron skillet. Picture this: loaded potato skins, a crispy chicken sandwich, the bacon cheeseburger, or the bold big queso energy burger, all finished with rich poblano queso fondue. Or go next level with our truffle mushroom burger, topped with smooth Alfredo fondue. TGI Fridays Fort Smith. And here, it's always Friday.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right. Wrapping up hour number 1 here today, March 31st, Tuesday. How's your bracket unit? How's your bracket, Clay? What how many of the Final Four did you guys get?
I got 2.
I got 2 as well. I got Michigan and Arizona.
And that's all I had.
You got the same 2, yeah. Has Illinois impressed you enough, Clay? I like that. They're kind of a lot like Arkansas. I think their two freshmen were right behind Malik Thomas and Acuff in leading the team in scoring in the country as far as the two freshmen. And that Rexler kid, Wagler, that's a lottery pick. That kid.
Watched Illinois a couple of times, and their ability on offense is high efficiency. And Stojanovic, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Stojakovic.
His ability to finish at the rim, he's so strong. He's like a horse.
He's like a Luau Dang. Remember Luau Dang?
Yeah,
kind of with
he
that
is.
body, kind of. Yeah.
I mean, he gets to the rim and is like, how's he going to get that shot over the big guy? And he puts his shoulder in you and gets a little
space. Yep.
And he's wide shouldered. I mean, he can do some things at the rim that Acuff did, but he doesn't have quite the outside shot. But he's a sure finisher. I just don't think that either UConn or Illinois have the same horses that Arizona and Michigan. Every time I watch Michigan, I'm more impressed, and I liked the way they finished the year. Although I guess Purdue was the better team in their tournament. I think Purdue, the injury deal to Braden Smith was big. And he didn't go out of the game, but when he rolled that ankle, he wasn't the same the rest of the game.
Yeah.
His that ability to come off that curl and get to the elbow and elevate with the fall away, that was his money shot all year. I watched him play 4 or 5 times. And after he turned that ankle, he did not get the lift again and was not the same. And now Arizona might have won that game, but he's All-American. I mean, he's big time player, and I love to watch Braden Smith. But he wasn't the same after rolling that ankle, and Arizona's probably going to get him anyway. But that pretty much took them out of their offensive rhythm.
What about Will Wade going back to LSU? SEC just keeps getting stronger. Kind of seems like, I guess, a good fit, a retread.
Yeah, what I'd like to see at LSU, you got Kim Mulkey and you got Will Wade, and they're going to be fighting over that NIL dollar figure. Like who's going to have it? And I know generally the men get more than the women, but she's going to be fighting for that. I would like to see LSU fill up the Pete Maravich Center and then have a cage match with Will Wade and Kim Mulkey. And I think Kim Mulkey probably gets it.
Refereed by Lane Kiffin. I love it. Moving right along, wrapping up hour number 1. It's almost noon o'clock. All right, unit. We'll come back after this.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fifth Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours. Or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
10 years ago, True Grit Running Company opened its doors with one simple goal: to help people move better, feel stronger, and find their stride. Today, we're celebrating 10 years of True Grit. Join us all year long for anniversary events, group runs, limited edition gear, and plenty of surprises as we kick off 2026. Whether you're chasing a finish line or just starting your journey, thank you for being part of our story. True Grit Running Company, 10 years strong, built by runners.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see lots of sunshine, highs in the low to mid 80s. The south wind will be gusty in the north up to 30 miles an hour. Increasing clouds tonight with an isolated rain shower possible across the north, lows in the low to mid 60s. Partly sunny on Wednesday with scattered rain showers in the north, highs in the low to mid 80s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My hot dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
But they even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
All right, hour number 2 back halftime. Phil Elson headed to Springfield baseball game. Then they're headed to where are they headed to?
Auburn.
Auburn. There we go to the Plains.
Bass Pro in Springfield too.
Yes. We got the unit running the board. We got fisherman Clay Henry with us as well. And what's the news? So in the last commercial, there's a new store opening in Fort Smith.
Yeah, and that would be the Bass Pro Shops. The third in Arkansas, I believe. There's only 3 of them.
Are you excited? Have you been to a Bass Pro before?
Man, I have. It's
70,000 square foot is what it says.
The one in Branson, most people know about that one. I think there's one in Central Arkansas.
I've been to that one.
Yeah, it's out there. It's out there on the road to Benton.
I'd go play Hurricane Golf Club out there.
Oh yeah,
on the way out there.
It's a 5-iron from Hurricane Golf Club.
You got Eagle Hill right there, I believe too.
Yep. It's that's kind of where I grew up, Matt, out there in the Meadowcliff area, southwest Little Rock.
That's the court. So I've only shot even par playing real golf in my entire life, Clay, and it was at Hurricane.
That's not a podunk place.
I know. I'm just saying. A lot of 70s when I was a 7 handicap years ago.
Oh, when you were living in Little Rock.
Yeah. But I the best round I ever did, I shot an even par round out there.
So what was the best that you ever did, like at PV, Pleasant Valley?
Pleasant Valley. So it's a par 71, and I kid you not, I was playing the tips with one of my buddies and shot a 73 out there. And we play real golf. But this was when I first retired from playing sports, and I would play golf 28 days a month.
Still had some muscle tone, right?
Oh, I was 8. I thought I was going to be on the senior tour, Clay. Like I competing and was playing I played 36 a day, 28 days a month, and so I got decent. And then I realized there's a lot of people that are really, really good at golf. Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. It's like the good thing about golf, and people that don't know you and don't even. This was not discussed much while you were playing. That you played with the labrum tear, right?
Yes.
And so you got that fixed years later. So you were playing golf at that high level with a labrum tear. Now the good thing about golf is it's an under motion, not an over motion. So that you didn't ever have any issues with your labrum playing golf, did you?
No.
Yeah, that's I've got bad rotator cuff. I threw my shoulder out playing Legion ball. I knew I did it at the time, but they didn't know what rotator cuffs were back then, and I never have it fixed. So if I try to throw a football, it just goes about 10 yards. It's about as far as I can throw it.
I think I got 20 in me. That's about it.
But like going under, there's no, like that golf motion, there's nothing that bothers me with that on my shoulder. And I can still raise my arm and point to the moon. And that's Dr. Powell, Mark Powell. He's like, you still do that? You're not ready for rotator cuff. But there's going to be a point where I don't have enough muscle tone to even do a rotator cuff surgery. You get to a certain age.
Yeah. They say wait as long as you can, huh, before you got to do it.
I'm not ever going to have it. I can carry my briefcase. That's I can still do that.
Yeah, you
but
can throw your fly rod.
But Bass Pro / Cabela's, you can kill a lot of time in there, and you can spend a lot of money. The one thing that I always try to do is look the other way when I come in the front door and the guy's like, "Hey, you want a Bass Pro credit card?" That's death. I mean, if you get one of those and they sign you up and then you say, "I didn't get anything I want today."
That's funny.
Next thing you know, you've got a pontoon boat.
Limited hearing. Like I don't know. And hey, we got one of our favorites though. I wonder if the tuna and the bass get along. There's a Bass Pro Shop opening in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Tuna, how's it going, buddy?
How's it going, guys? Matt, what do you want me to do? You want me to swim all the way up there?
Well,
that's a long swim.
I don't know about that, man. They got the Arkansas River. You just get right on in it.
I mean, look, this is the thing. You got Clay. You just even mentioned it. We don't really have. You mentioned rural Arkansas, Clay. We don't have a lot down here. Let's just be honest. But fishing is fun. We don't have no Bass Pro Shop though. You got to go. You got to go a little ways to do one of those.
Like Millwood, DeGray.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got that and all. That's cool, but. I don't want to go out there with a cane pole. I want some good equipment now. I mean, I don't want to just go out there and look like
cane pole and crickets
idiot.
and worms
and a little bobber. Yeah.
Don't be talking about that.
You be eating good that night.
Oh, I don't need to be sleeping on that. You're right. I shouldn't be sleeping on the cane pole. Hey, I will say this, Clay. I was thinking about this baseball team, and I wanted to ask you about this. You've watched baseball a long time, a lot longer than me. I know you thought I was 60 last week, but I'm only 33. I told you I was 47.
You said 47, anyway, I think.
I thought you said 64.
It was a joke. It was a joke because I was.
Well, we knew it was wrong. We just knew it was wrong.
Yeah, but no, because the first game I ever saw, football-wise, that I remember, was Matt's freshman year against Ole Miss, and I was 9. So that's like the game that made me almost fall in love with it, and I'm just obsessed with football now. So thank you, Matt. It's all your fault, bro. Yeah, man. Look, with this baseball team, though, Clay, everybody, I don't care. Y'all all can chime in. I was listening to Bubba the other day, and do you think this is a team? Because we've seen this before in baseball where they can flip it around and they can get hot at the right time, and I just think baseball is so crazy to me. It's one of the more mental sports. You guys talk about golf. I think that's one of the hardest sports, by the way, not only just because it's individual, but, it is really hard to be good at. I am terrible at it. I don't even try anymore. I think swinging and hitting a baseball is up there. I think I've heard Deion Sanders say that. It may be the hardest thing to do. But not just that, this team in general, Clay. I know we have the injury to Ruiz. I haven't heard the extent of that. It's not good, is it? Correct.
I don't think it's
Damon?
bad. I mean, he's confided with some people that it wasn't as bad as he first thought. But hey, the proof is in the pudding. You get the MRI and they see what it is. Then they know.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't think it's much, and then you play on it, and then boy, that thing balloons up, and you got a lot of swelling, and there's some issues. I don't know what it is, but they lost Brenton Clark in the fall. This is the second real, to me, injury. I guess Zach Stewart missed some time with the groin, but it's
but he came back. He good.
They're relatively healthy, and they're relatively healthy on the mound, which so far so good. They just need to pitch better. But Ruiz is a good player and a big part of their lineup. Is solid hitter, so you hope for the best. I think we'll probably hear on the pregame tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and that's what I'm saying. But do you think, before I go, this is one of those teams that can happen, or is it just so hard to predict because baseball is so mental? I don't know. I know every sport is mentally taxing, but I think with baseball, it is really such a mental game. And, like, sometimes you reel a few off and you get hot towards the end of the year. We've seen it in the past with other teams. Do you think? Or I'm hopeful that it can happen with this team, that they can make a run.
Here's the
Thanks,
thing.
Tuna.
This is a team that won 2 of 3 from Mississippi State. Mississippi State's going great guns. So we know they got it in them. I think it's about week-to-week matchups. Yeah, I think that pitching, you make adjustments. Same thing with hitters, and then, you catch some teams that, they're struggling in a slump, and then, and you look pretty good. And then, pitchers can get a little sore arms, and maybe they're off a little bit, and then they bounce back. So it's all about matchups and what you look at down the road. And I think they might have really caught a really talented Florida team. There were a lot of good prospects on that. I watched Florida's pitchers, and it's like, okay, that guy throws 97, that guy throws 98. There's nothing wrong with Florida's talent. So, but you look at the rest of the schedule, and I'm not scared of any of these teams. And I would suspect that there's some bounce back in this bunch, and I see a couple of guys that I know can play a lot better than they are right now. So that's my thought.
All right, we're gonna keep on moving along. I want to talk. The NFL draft is coming up. You got a couple guys: Lorenzo Neal. You got Taylon Green, Carmona, Mike Washington. And I've been doing a little research, kind of looking at some things and seeing where teams are starting to target these guys. I think when you're 6'6" and you run a 4.3, I think somebody's going to take Taylon Green in the top 100. The last mock draft I saw had him going 147 to the Washington Commanders. It had Carmona going around 190, and then Lorenzo Neal as well. So there was those three guys. I didn't see Mike Washington. I think he will be in there as well.
There was a mock draft that I just looked at that had him in the second round, but that's one man's opinion.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think that, and I got to look and see when the draft. I don't pay for any of the things, so it's but you want to see where he is. So
yeah, running backs. That's a tough prediction. No one wants to make a reach for a running back that the shelf life's 2 years. So when you're talking about a first or second rounder running back, they got to be elite. Is he elite? I think he's got some real skill. I mean, he can run and he's got a good body, but is he elite?
I think he'll go kind of right around where that A-Chain went because of his speed. So maybe the fourth round. Like
there you go.
I agree with you. Teams because usually a fourth rounder, you're going to make the team. It's just we get you for a little bit cheaper. So and I agree with you. if I'm drafting you in the first 2 rounds, you're drafting guys that you think's going to be a starter for the next 7 years. Yeah.
Well, and that's my other deal is that it seems like NFL teams is like, man, we don't really want to take that kind of a risk on a running back because it's just like, hey, it's one play
unless it's
and they're
Todd
done.
Gurley or something. Yeah, I totally get it. I saw Harold Perkins too is around 97th pick in the draft. I would have never thought that 2 years ago.
So yeah, when he lit up Arkansas in that game in Fayetteville where he just ran down everybody, was that 3 years ago? And then did he have an ACL? And then it was everything was a little different when he came back. I'm not saying he can't run, but maybe everybody's a little bit nervous about him. But the first time you saw him is like, well, that's a guy that's going to be top 20 pick.
Well, let's talk. We'll talk a little Mike Washington, a little NFL draft coming up in April. If you want to get in with us, please do 877-377-6963. We'll be right back.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner. Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's almost over. The ultimate challenge here at Lewis Automotive Group, our biggest one yet. We're so close to selling 600 vehicles in the month of March. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models. Payments starting at $199 a month. Only for a limited time at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Are you leaning a certain way in this Final Four? If you're going to be in it to win it. Head to mybookie.ag. Use code HOGS, that's HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it. Win from it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they're fighting with their tanks and their
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right. The Cranberries with Zombie. I love it. Matt Jones here. Christian Johnson on the controls. Fisherman Clay Henry with us as well. Talking a little NFL draft coming up in April, but something I just saw this. Want to kind of switch over. The McDonald's All-American basketball game is tonight. Arkansas has 2 guys. They got Jordan Smith playing on the East roster, and you have Jashawn Andrews. I guess he goes by JJ. Playing on the West roster. For some reason, I thought there were 3 McDonald's All-Americans, but well, that's 2 of them though. Clay, I don't know about you, but when I was, in junior high and high school, I used to look forward. I watched when the McDonald's All-American game was on. I wanted to watch it. I'll have to peek over there and check out some of these Arkansas guys. I haven't seen the Jordan Smith kid play yet.
Yeah, you're going to like him. I mean, big physical guy. Of course, both of those guys are. JJ's big and physical, got a lot of skill for their size. I didn't see this, but I read about it this morning. I was doing a little research because I knew I was going to be with you today. Wanted to be ready, prepared.
Mm-hmm.
But JJ was in the slam dunk contest yesterday or last night, and he had shoulder pads and a helmet on, and he ran a play. He had guys with him, and he ran a play, then did a 360. He ran a football play.
I love it.
And that's tribute to Pops, Sean Andrews. I want to tell you, if he's got just a third of his daddy's talent, he's an all-timer. I mean, Sean Andrews, if you say, all right, give me 5 Razorbacks, the greatest ever, and you'd probably be on the list.
He was the best. My 4 years up there, and I played with Ahmad Carroll, Cedric Cobbs, Ken Hamlin. There's list goes Carlos Hall, Raymond House, Jermaine Petty. I played with a lot of a really amazing. Sean Andrews was the best player when I was up.
When first time I saw him in a practice, I was like, are they going to start him in the first game? Well, they didn't. But when they put him in the Alabama game.
Yeah.
They put him in the Alabama game. That's his first start, I believe. and they had 2 all-SEC defensive ends that they were rotating. I think one of them might have been injured, so it was, consecutive years. They had those guys rotating on Sean, and he moved them. He moved them. And changed the game immediately, that you got somewhere you can go anytime you want to and get a yard to.
And then
really
you put Jason Peters on that side too.
They did.
Oh man,
it's just like the field just tilted.
They knew what we were doing. Hey, I just saw this, Clay. USC Coach Muss, he's got 3 McDonald's All-Americans. He's got a pair of twins, and then he has another kid named Christian Collins. That's going. So there's 3 going. I mean, Coach Muss trying to do some things out there. He's missed the tournament 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I don't think I expect that to turn around.
Yeah,
they had some injuries last year, and I saw them at one point. I thought they were going to be pretty good, and then they just kind of faded at the end. The Big Ten it's no slouch, man. You look around and see, if you make some of those 2-game road trips like they do, and you come back with 2 knots on your head.
That's right.
So you go on the road and you play Michigan State, for road games. It's like, well, wait a minute.
Man, Missouri just got two McDonald's. I'm seeing some SEC teams. Texas got 1, Missouri with 2, Arkansas with 2, Alabama. No, Missouri. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, and
Alabama
I probably won't say the name right, but the other Arkansas guy that was in the top 15, it's Toure. I don't know if it's Turi or Tour. I think everybody expected him to be a McDonald's All-American, and he didn't get picked.
Maybe he'll be a Jordan All-American. I think there's two different.
But he's big time. So that's 3 in this next class. I don't know who they're going to retain off this team, and that's the big question. You like that they had 4 that were big time returnees from last year's team to this year's team. I think that Ewan's probably coming back. But
you got a point guard and a winger, they like to say. I would say J.J. Andrews is a winger, and then you got a point guard. Hey, we got a phone caller, and we'll continue on. Unit, let's go to the phones.
Brent in Kentucky.
Brent,
hey.
What's up, dude?
Hey, life is good, and I got a burning question. I know that basketball and, of course, baseball is always at the top of the list right now. But, Clay, from your background of knowing Coach Broyles and Lou Holtz, their styles, and Matt, your love and respect for Coach Nutt, where do you see Silverfield fitting in those characters? Because, that was a motivator, and Coach Broyles, CEO, and Lou Holtz always interpreted as being a really detailed man in control. What do you think we're getting right now? What's happening?
I think it's too early to really answer that, and I get it. Okay. And I told Matt earlier we need to do a little spring football because they're back at it this week, and I think that it's appropriate to ask that question. I just don't know that I have enough information.
I like his
have
first
been around him.
I like his first couple steps, Clay, getting some Arkansas kids.
Yeah, no, but as far as is he a detail guy? Is he a motivator? The questions Brent asked, I can't.
Yeah, I
can't tell you.
Don't know those.
I think I see a lot of change. I see a lot of his touch. Oh, and I think he definitely has that head coach mentality. That he sets the tone. He doesn't accept anything but his way, and I think that's I wrote something in the last Hogs Illustrated that's online at Ho Hog Sports. My take on Lou Holtz. It's about 2,000 words, and he was a taskmaster, and I think as long as he had players, his teams were going to be highly successful. And his last couple of classes. They slipped in the recruiting, and after he lost Monty Kiffin, Harold Horton, and Larry Bechtel, that staff wasn't the same. So I'm going to flip this around. I haven't seen enough to know what kind of staff that Ryan Silverfield has hired, because the key with Coach Holtz was the staff that he had his first 3 years. And the key with Coach Broyles was the staff that he had in the 60s that were all those Hall of Famers. And as you go down the list of the coaches that worked for Coach Broyles, I can't tell you what Ryan Silverfield's staff is like yet. I've read all the bios, but I haven't seen them work. And, he's got more numbers as far as coaches. I think, he turned over the roster. We got to see how that turns out. Primarily what you have to know right off the bat, does he have a quarterback? And they say they got a quarterback battle, but I think it's KJ Jackson. I don't think I think it's they're going to let it play out, but I would be stunned if he's not the quarterback. I mean, I think he's the better passer, and he's been in more action. And he's been in the room with Bobby Petrino, which should give him some confidence. He's going to run a different offense, no question. But I think that he's a big, fast athlete with an accurate arm. I didn't really answer Brent's question, but
well, you did. We all want to know, and it's unfair to throw that out right now while we're still.
It's okay. You can ask it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's. It tells me
Keep
we are
asking.
an assessment. So I will. And Matt, you know that stuff in and out. And but I like what Matt's saying there. He likes where it's going, and I think that's fair.
I like his first couple steps, and it's going to all come down to wins and losses, and being a coach is a calling. It's more than you're teaching these young kids to become young men, and there's more life lessons that you're teaching. But again, you're judged by wins and losses. You got to win some football games.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the SEC. We haven't seen what he does, with every week SEC games. He's played SEC teams, beat one last year. I'm not sure how good the team was, but he beat one last year. But I think he's got better resources than the last coach, which is critical. But it's like, what kind of staff? See, I thought Brett Bielema, when he came to Arkansas, had a top-end staff. And every hire he made, they slipped a little bit. Every hire was less than the previous. At the end, he was hiring coaches that hadn't recruited, that had been assistant position coaches in the NFL. And when I say assistants, you got a position coach, and then he's got an assistant. That's who they were hired. It didn't go well. Those guys didn't recruit well. I don't think they coached well, and they were in the offensive and defensive line, which was a problem.
That's not a recipe for success.
Well, it just points to we give our coaches too much credit sometimes and put too much on them. They're good, but that staff plays a huge role.
Well, they hired the staff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The ability to hire the staff. And I think the funds, here's something that people don't talk about or don't know. So when Coach Broyles came to Arkansas, the first thing he asked was, I need resources to hire the best assistant coaches in the country. And he was given that. And it wasn't a lot of money, but the difference between making $12,000 and $18,000 was a lot of money. That's a third more. Just get this. Hayden Fry came to Arkansas to be the play caller for Lance Allworth, and then was hired at SMU as the head coach. And he got there, and he forgot to ask about the salary. And when he saw his first check, it was less than what he made as offensive play caller at Arkansas. Coach Broyles is the first coach in college football to have courtesy cars for his assistant coaches and radio shows for 4 of his coaches, and they all got money for those radio shows. So points back to funds to hire coaches is really important.
Gotcha. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful Holy Week and Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, and Easter.
Happy
and
Easter,
I hope Phil
man.
has a great Passover.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the call, Brent. And if you guys want to be like Brent and call in and chat with us for a little bit, feel free to do that. You can text us as well on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. That is 877-377-6963. We'll be right back.
Did you say, can I get the ugliest shoes you make and let me wear them? Mine are pretty fire.
This is halftime.
Smalls here. If it feels like everybody's sick right now, you aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt that you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right in your home. It includes prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs and other common illnesses. It's in your kit the moment you need it. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no lines at the pharmacy, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook and call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Order your medical emergency kit online in minutes and it ships to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Again, that's $45 off with promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's urgentcarekit.com/smalls, promo code SMALLS.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
This is halftime.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Are you tired of loose, uncomfortable dentures or struggling with missing teeth? This is Dr. Charles Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself experience with full arch dental implant solutions. Dentures that are securely attached to implants, giving you a natural looking, confident smile that feels like your own. No more slipping, no more pain, just the freedom to smile, speak, and eat with ease. You like coming to see us, right, Matt?
Who doesn't want to say, I love the way your smile lights up under your eyes? Call 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com to schedule your consultation today.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Time is running out. This is your last chance to enter the Mach 1 Motorcycle Madness giveaway. Head to hitthatline.com and lock in your final 4 picks by Friday for your shot to win a brand new Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Pro. Then join us Saturday, April 11th at K1 Speed in Rogers, where one lucky winner rides away. While you're there, hit the track and race the fastest indoor karts in Northwest Arkansas, reaching speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. Don't wait. Get registered now at hitthatline.com and fill out your final 4 brackets. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now let's get back to Halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
All right. Just moving right along. A little football, little basketball, little baseball, little soccer, talk a little fishing. I want to talk a little Augusta coming up, Clay. How are you feeling? If Scotty Scheffler's playing his best, is he still the number one player in the world? Who do you like in Augusta coming up?
His game isn't razor sharp right now. He is not just a little off form. It doesn't look like he's driving it as well. His short game's still pretty good, but he hasn't put it in the fairway consistently. But you don't have to drive it straight at Augusta National. Here's the thing about that place: there is no rough. It's not significant. Let's put it that way. There's better angles. There's places to hit it that are better than others. He's a left to right guy, and you need to hit it right to left there. If you're a lefty, you need to cut it. If you're a right-hander, you need to hook it. That doesn't mean he can't win there, because he has. But
what about another guy that's won there, Xander Schauffele, who got third?
He hasn't won there.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought he won there.
Rory McIlroy is the defending champ, and his game looked like it was really good, and then he kind of tweaked his back, and we'll see what kind of form he has when he gets to Augusta National. But yeah, it's the thing that was always the rule of thumb at Augusta National is you pick the best putter. But that was back when the greens were a little faster, and they were a little trickier because of Poa annua and other strains of grasses. But they have managed to put that sub-air system in there and have perfect greens. And it seems like the ball strikers, but the guy you just said, Xander Schauffele, is an elite ball striker. He kind of was coming off some injuries. Looks like his game might be rounding into form. So he has the length to play those par fives, and that's the critical aspect is that if you turn all those 4 par fives into par fours, and then make an eagle or two there, you can get to 4 times 4 is 16, and that's the magic number. 4 birdies, all 4 rounds. That's how you really go low there.
What about does Tiger have any? Does he move the needle at all anymore? Is Tiger ever? Is he done on the PGA Tour? Yeah,
he's done. And like he might hit some impressive shots, but he doesn't. And for him to walk that course and for his back to hold up, if you haven't been there, you don't understand the degree of slope, up and down, and it's a chore just to walk it, much less play it. And I just can't imagine that Tiger would have the strength to be competitive on that course because of the physical strain on his body. And I mean, a normal person can walk it. He's not normal anymore. I don't know how many surgeries he's had. And who knows where his mind is after what just happened to him. We still haven't heard from him. We may not for a while. His ability to be a leader on the international golf stage right now is in question.
Yeah, I'm looking at guys like Tommy Fleetwood, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Justin Rose still getting it done, and you talk about Rory. What's your thoughts? Rory, is he cracking into the top 10 all time golf? Like if you were to have a top 10 golfers all time, I think Tiger's in there. Has Rory jumped in there yet?
He's close.
Outside, yeah.
He's close. Maybe another major or two. He's won the Grand Slam, so we start there, and it's like then I go, I start with, Tiger and Jack. Some people will say Jack. Some people will say Tiger. Let's just say 1A and 1B.
Mm-hmm.
Either way you want to go.
Sam Snead.
And then you kind of have to be careful about what you do with Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones,
because
that's
he
who
was
I
an
meant.
amateur, and there was no Masters, and so he wasn't, there weren't as many majors, and so the two majors that he was winning that were really more competitive, the amateur game was almost a bigger deal than what the professional game was. Professionals were like glorified caddies, and he could beat them. Didn't play against them much, but when he did, he beat them. But he won a lot of U.S. and British amateurs, and those are considered majors for him. But I'd have to say you put Bobby Jones, in the did you say top 10?
Yeah, top 10 got
he's easily in that.
Yeah.
And then I go Byron Nelson, then maybe Sam Snead, and
what about Arnold Palmer or Gary Player?
And then I was going to say Gary Player and Arnold Palmer, and you can flip those any way you want to. And I would also include Byron Nelson. He had a streak where he won every week for like 2 months.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good list there. I don't know if it gets to 10 or not.
Does it matter when we're talking about golfers? Because it used to be wins, and then I think of a guy like a Greg Norman who's won a lot more on the world stage. And then you have the two different leagues now. So you have a live golfer, PGA golfer, different stages these players are able to play on. Do you take that into account at all? Like a Seve Ballesteros, would he be up there?
Yeah, he's in there. I mean, he was
Freddie Couples outside the top 10.
Freddie's outside the top 10. He's one of my favorite all-time players, but he's not in the top 10. He might be top 10 as far as favorites.
Like Ricky Fowler is a favorite.
The same kind of deal. And you could watch Freddie hit it all day long.
What about a guy that doesn't get a lot? His longevity, I think he's like the Frank Gore. Frank Gore was the running back that just played for. It seemed like he just played 19 years. Bernhard Langer, is he up there in the top?
Well,
nobody ever throws his name out there.
Yeah, well, when you throw in his what he's done as far as longevity and on the seniors tour, it's freakish.
Mm-hmm.
But what he did, is an all-time player on the PGA Tour. It doesn't rank up there. I saw him win a Masters. He was the Red Baron back in those days, and I think did he win 2 Masters? I think that's what he did. But let's just say the modern guys that have a chance to do something. I'm not discounting Bryson DeChambeau's ability to win 3 or 4 or 5 more majors. I wished he wasn't playing on LIV. I wished I saw him against a deeper field every week because I think it would help him. And I thought he was a little bit weird for a while. I'm starting to kind of like him a little bit more, and I think he's done some things to help his reputation. Apparently, the townspeople in Augusta love him, and he's shows up at parks, goes on walks, stops and talks to. I mean, it's unnatural what he's done in the last 2 years to try to, I guess you would say, correct his image or improve his image. And I think he's done that.
I know I agree with you with DeChambeau. Just in golfing circles or talking about him, it just seemed like in general people didn't really like him, and now he's shown a little more personality.
I think it was cockiness
he's won some.
Yeah, I think it was his cockiness and his brashness is like, my way is the way. I play with clubs that are all the same length, which is he's the only person ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, they're all the same length.
They're all the same length, but he doesn't have 7-iron, 6-iron. It's just the degree,
just
like
degrees.
48 degrees.
Yeah. And so he's he's done weird stuff. He's like the mad scientist. And for a little while, he kind of talked down to everybody. And it's like, I know, I've researched, I know a little bit more than you do. Well, that's not the way to go about it.
No, don't talk down. He did kind of have a little snooty attitude, and I just looked up Bernhard Longer, 83 and 95. He won the Masters. No, sorry, 90.
I was there in 83.
93 and 85.
85, I was there.
He won the Masters, so 2-time. And hey, we're having a lot of fun. If you guys want to get in with us, we're all over the map today. Just talking sports. There's so many cool sports going on. This weekend, Arkansas Razorback baseball team traveling to the Plains to take on the Auburn Tigers. You got Augusta coming up. It's right around the corner. World Cup coming up right around the corner. NCAA Final Four, March Madness, everything. Call us up. Get in with us, 877-377-6963. We'll be right back.
Hogs on a run out. Brazil throws it down.
This is halftime.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Arkansas fans, get fired up at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for Tex-Mex and Arkansas Game Day. Catch Arkansas basketball games live on our big TV screens. And when you wear your Arkansas gear, score half-price apps and cheap taps. Enjoy complimentary chips and homemade salsa, fresh and made from scratch every day. Don't miss Joe's Mexican-inspired daily specials, fast, friendly service, and the best game day fun in town. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
10 years ago, True Grit Running Company opened its doors with one simple goal: to help people move better, feel stronger, and find their stride. Today, we're celebrating 10 years of True Grit. Join us all year long for anniversary events, group runs, limited edition gear, and plenty of surprises as we kick off 2026. Whether you're chasing a finish line or just starting your journey, thank you for being part of our story. True Grit Running Company, 10 years strong, built by runners.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Walk-Ons is always a win, especially during tournament time. Whether it's a watch party with friends, a post-game celebration, or an easy night out, Walk-Ons has you covered. Enjoy scratch-made dishes, over 60 TVs at each location, and a full lineup of craft beers and cocktails. From po' boys and gumbo to voodoo shrimp, burgers, and fresh salads, there's something for everyone. Catch every game at Walk-Ons, your basketball headquarters this tournament season. Visit locations in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, or Little Rock. Order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro, for the win.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
It's a bittersweet symphony that's trying to make ends meet. You're a slave to money that you got.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Welcome to the very first edition of This Week in Razorback History, brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Each Tuesday at this time on halftime, we'll take a look back at a defining moment in Razorback history, and there's no place better to start, of course, than March 1994, when the Razorbacks put together one of the most memorable runs in college basketball history, charging through March Madness on their way to a national championship. And it all started in round one, beating North Carolina A&T 73-59. Round two, they took down Georgetown 85-73. In the Sweet 16, the Hogs lit up Tulsa 103-86. Then in the Elite Eight, 76-68, knocking off Michigan. In the Final Four, the Hogs beat Arizona 91-82. And then in the national championship game, they sealed the championship over Duke 76-72. Dominant from start to finish. They averaged 84 points per game, allowing just 73, an impressive 11-point average margin of victory. This is going to be brought to you by the Good Feet Store. I talked to you about the Good Feet Store a lot. And, you know, I used to suffer from plantar fasciitis. Do you know how painful that is? You can't put any weight on your feet when you deal with plantar fasciitis. I've also dealt with some knee pain and ankle pain. And a little less than 2 years ago, I went over to the Good Feet Store location in Fayetteville and got fitted for Good Feet arch supports. These go in all of your shoes. You can wear them morning, noon, and night. And these help fix my plantar fasciitis. You know, I don't deal with the plantar fasciitis anymore. No more ankle pain, no more knee pain. And Good Feet arch supports can help you. 2 locations in Northwest Arkansas for Good Feet. Rogers across from Top Golf, next to Hideaway Pizza right off I-49, and in Fayetteville across from Walmart off Mall Avenue. Now get this, there is a huge deal going on Friday and Saturday at both locations. Good Feet arch supports are $100 off. That's Friday and Saturday this week at the Good Feet Store. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see lots of sunshine, highs in the low to mid 80s. The south wind will be gusty in the north up to 30 miles an hour. Increasing clouds tonight with an isolated rain shower possible across the north, lows in the low to mid 60s. Partly sunny on Wednesday with scattered rain showers in the north, highs in the low to mid 80s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What kids they dominate, and we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Number one Razorback is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Woo! All right, back to third hour here, halftime. The Phil Elson-less halftime today. He'll be back tomorrow. We'll have Bill King coming up in the next segment, talk a little college football, a little spring football, kind of jump around the SEC, touch on Vanderbilt, Tennessee, the Hogs, a little bit of Lane Kiffin, maybe Alabama. I mean, just wherever you want to go. You got anything that you'd like us to ask Bill King? Within reason, text it in, 877-377-6963. I got college basketball fever right now. Most basketball I've watched in the last 3 weeks, not the Arkansas Razorbacks, just most college basketball I've watched, watching this tournament in a long time. And one of the best to ever do it was Nolan Richardson, Clay. I know you got to sit down with Nolan. What a treat that is. And you know, when you get to sit down, I know he's your buddy, and you talk with him, and then maybe you don't talk to him for a few months, then you talk. Did you find out anything new?
Yeah, I thought I knew everything, and maybe I Matt, I'm 71. Be 72 soon. And so there's things that I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to get worse. I know that. But I was at Tulsa World when he came to Tulsa. In fact, I was in charge of the coach search for the paper. And it was, there were some days I thought it was going to be Billy Tubbs coming from Lamar. And I know that the school's vice president, who was kind of like the AD, it's kind of like what they've got at Vanderbilt. He wasn't an athletic, but he was the vice president. He went on a plane to Beaumont, and I don't think he liked, what he heard from Billy. And then he flew to Snyder, Texas, and the next thing you know, it was Nolan Richardson, who had won the national championship in junior college. So that's where I started with Nolan, writing those stories, and then getting to know him as a coach, watch some of his first practices. He brought basically his whole junior college team, and then added Mike Anderson to it, who they'd played in, I think, the semifinals or the finals in the national tournament. So that's how far we go back. I covered him, 5 years, when I was the basketball writer at the Tulsa World, and then, but yeah, it's in. But here's the thing that I learned. I knew he had horses, but he told me at one point he had his ranch in kind of northwest Fayetteville, 150 acres. At one point he had 28 horses, and his favorite thing was to rescue horses. Like they put him out to pasture and then decided, we're going to send him to the glue factory. And he would get wind of that and send a trailer and adopt those horses. So he had a lot of older horses. But he really fell in love with what's called it's a French draft horse. And I think Percheron, and he struggles to say it. And I had to look it up, but he's got 6 of those now, and they're like 25 hands tall, which that's a massive match. It's like a Clydesdale, and they can be 3,000 pounds, and that's a lot of feed in the winter, is what he told me.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah. Now in the once spring hits about now, that the grass starts to grow, and they got plenty out in the pasture. We talked about horses, and and then we talked about the horses that you have on the court. And he thinks Arizona's got all the horses right now. So we talked a little bit about that. One thing he told me, he said he probably wouldn't have brought his team from Portland down to San Francisco and San Jose. He would have flown back, kind of keep them under his watch a little bit. And that's just, that's one coach's opinion. But we talked about his defense, how they played. And I'd never heard this, but he said that, they wouldn't, and you played for him, Matt.
Yes, sir.
He might not have a plan for when he was going to press somebody, like that. He knew that you had to press, but you might not be in it at the start. And, it's like, well, he's going to get in it at the 10-minute mark, or 10-minute marks left in the game. He's like, he said, there's some games where he come to the huddle, and it's like one of his players, might be Corey Beck, might be Clint McDaniel. It's like, Coach, let's get in it. Now, you didn't play with those guys.
Mm-mm.
They were before your time. But he says, all through history, he says, if I had a player come over in the huddle and say, Coach, we need to get in it, get in the press. All right, we'll get in it. And he says, you better play. You better not screw this up. It's your idea. And he said that was always, kind of a motivation when a player would come and say, hey. And he talked about the national championship game against Duke when they were down by 10. And it's like, we're going to have to get in it and, get in the scramble, get in the press, and turn it up. And he said, our guys, like, they all just looked at us and said, we're going to another level. And he said that it was, but it was, so we talked about the statue, and, he was surprised. He said that he was basically begged to come in that night, and whoever it was that called him, I can't remember, if it was Matt Zimmerman or who's like, Coach, we need you to come to the Texas game. And he's like, and he's, Nolan said his heart's a little bit a little bit shaky, and it's like, pick his spots of when he feels the best, and he says, Coach, you walked off against Texas. This is, you need to be there when they come. And he goes, and Jim Robkin's going to be there. And he's like, Jim Robkin, the band leader that ran up and down the aisles in Barnhill, that got the band going. He wants to see you tonight. And he says, they basically tricked me. And he says, now I'm telling you, it was a surprise. He said, you don't really need to be surprising old guys with bad hearts.
Right.
So, but he's enjoyed it's been a constant outpouring of, former players and staffers, in the last 2 weeks, so his phone has it's been constant. So he's enjoyed that. And I talked with Scott Edgar, who was on his staff at Tulsa, and then came to Arkansas and was, really an ace recruiter. Then was head coach at Murray State. We remember that. And I talked to Scott last week and kind of got some inside stuff on their defense. And I had forgotten that he played a matchup, but a lot of times it was a match in one. And what that means is they're playing a matchup in areas and they're taking the man, and then he's got one guy that picks out the best shooter on the other team and takes him out of it. So it's a match in one. Did y'all ever play a match in one, Matt, when you were Nolan?
Yeah, I played a little bit under him. I actually had my first start was as a basketball player my freshman year. I don't remember if so. I don't want to lie and say that, but the one thing I do remember that Coach Richardson really liked, and something that I was good at, anticipation. Understanding what they're trying to do, where is the next pass coming, because in that press that you're talking about, you have to kind of understand where the angle is, where's the guy going,
and the rotations.
Yeah, you have to see, when is my guy going? Okay, I have to be ready. And do I go all the way and leave my guy open and he jumps up and makes the pass, or do I split the difference? And then when do I, so all that type of stuff was part of the reason why I got to play, was because I was halfway decent at defense.
You could read things, and that if you couldn't anticipate and read, and he coached decision making. And he'd stop practice and say, "What, you do this or you do that? Well, this is why you do that."
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about just running certain things. It's decision. And he said that, and I think that he feels for the modern day coach that has to completely rebuild his roster.
Well, freshmen haven't played. Think about freshman high school players.
Or even you're taking players from another coach, and then you're trying to, and he said, what we had was always had continuity.
Mm-hmm.
We always had older players that knew everything in our defensive system. And he says, our defensive system, it wasn't just press. We ran man, we ran 2-3, we ran 1-3-1. We scrambled out of that. We pressed, we scrambled out of that. So there was versatility. And he says the how you can do that is that you have experienced players and you don't ever add too much in at once. You got a whole team that's new. Where do you start? Well, you play man to man the whole time. That's what Coach Cal did this year. It's like you try to get good at one thing. Well, Coach Richardson, he wanted you to be good at about 4 to 5 different defensive schemes, and he would scramble out of all of them, which means attack and go get the ball. He said sometimes he would run a press, and they didn't attack. We're not trying to steal the ball. We're just trying to slow you down or speed you up. And he says, then I would just say scramble, and when you say scramble, it means now we're going to play the gaps and steal the ball. It's so much fun to talk to him. I mean, it's like his personality is just so rich, and his mind is just, his mind's better than mine, Matt. I mean, I've already proven there's things I've forgotten, and I had forgotten. Scott Edgar reminded me that he really wasn't sure about. He called me to his office 2 days before he took the Arkansas job. And it was open, and it was pretty clear that it was about to be pitched to him. And I got calls, from someone at the university who's like doing background check, and I knew what was happening. And I mean, I knew all those people that, and I, I'm the basketball writer in Tulsa. I mean, I wasn't anybody that was around Nolan Moore during those days. And he was asking me about the state, what the potential was. I kind of gave him a scouting report, told him he needed to meet my dad. And, of course, they became, best friends. And that relationship was really cool. My dad took Spanish for 6 years in high school and college at Little Rock Junior College, and was fluent in Spanish. And he talked in Spanish to Rose and Nolan, and they loved it. They loved it. And it's like he knew both Nolan and my dad, they could be around other people, and my dad could ask him a question in Spanish, and he could answer it. Nobody else got that quote. We talked a little bit about that Sunday, and about the horses. And he had a Tennessee Walker that he rode all the time. He got it at age 18, and it lived to 36. That's kind of old for a horse.
Hey, on the 3 new freshmen that are coming in, I know we got 2 tonight. I'm going to check them out. And then there's another one that they're all 5 stars, so to speak. Which one of these guys, JSJ or JJ Andrews, which one do you – are both of them, which one do you think would fit Nolan's style better?
Well, if you're a basketball player, you fit in Nolan's style.
Yeah, true enough. Fair enough.
I mean, that's
Matt
Matt Jones. That's why you fit, Matt.
Well,
and it wasn't okay. You could shoot, or you were a great athlete. It was that you're a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched you play in high school. I'll never forget. And I believe you hit a game-winning shot at Rogers. Rogers really pushed you guys, and that's.
I think they had Nathan Ball that year.
They did.
Yeah.
And I think they ran a play for you on the baseline, and Clark Moore set a screen. Man, could he set a screen?
He could set, dude. He was a big, and he had touch. So that's the thing for being a line. He had a little touch.
Yeah, but I saw you hit that shot, and I mean your arm went up above everybody. But I watched you during the game, and it wasn't that you took over the game, but you just made basketball plays, and that's the same thing Nolan saw. And I think that's a coach's son, and I mean, I know that you bounced to basketball more than you threw a football. I just know that.
That's true. I would be over there in the springtime, or right now. As soon as spring ball was over with, I'd go to the Bud Walton and hoop 2 or 3 times.
I'm talking about high school, though.
No, yeah. And so we didn't have social media back then, but the news crew would come up there and get a little clip for the news. And then my parents would call me later on that day, say, "What are you doing don't be over there playing basketball. Football starts in 27 days. What are you doing out there?"
Coach Nutt would get word
exactly. And then that was
Don't sprain an ankle, man.
We're moving right along. We'll come back and talk a little Nolan, but first we're going to come back and talk some college football with the one and only Bill King.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's almost over. The ultimate challenge here at Lewis Automotive Group, our biggest one yet.
We're so close to selling 600 vehicles in the month of March. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models. Payments starting at $199 a month, only for a limited time at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Are you leaning a certain way in this Final Four? If you're going to be in it to win it. Head to mybookie.ag. Use code HOGS, that's HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it. Win from it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Sure to follow Halftime on X at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back, and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right. Back, just moving right along here on Halftime. One of our favorites, we got Bill King from Nashville, Tennessee. Bill, hey, man, how's it going on this wonderful Tuesday?
Hey, guys, how are you?
We're all a little – hey, we're doing good, man. We're all a little gun-shy. I don't know about your show today, but if you know this as well as every Razorback fan knows, we don't really do April Fool's jokes anymore because of something that happened about 14 years ago around these parts. Do you guys get into any of the April Fool's jokes tomorrow?
We did one about 20 years ago, and this is when I was 25 years ago. I was in local radio, and Tennessee's men's basketball team needed a coach, and we came on the air and said Tennessee has hired Pat Summitt as the men's coach, the legend, and it was believable. It was so believable the phones went nuts that the University of Tennessee had to release an official statement from Sports Information denying the report.
That's awesome. Nowadays, you just have a burner Twitter account and throw something out there to see what sticks.
Right.
That's cool. Hey, how did spring ball, has it got started for Vanderbilt? Is it the life without Pavia now? What's your thoughts on Vanderbilt? Keep that rolling. How's spring ball looking for Vandy this year?
Well, Vanderbilt's quarterback, and I'm not saying he's going to put up numbers immediately, but it's Jared Curtis, 5-star that was some had ranked top player in the country from right here in Nashville. And he's the one that was committed to Georgia for a long time. And Vanderbilt got him flipped at the last minute. And he's probably going to get the ball real soon. Maybe snap one game one. He's 6'4", 230. He if you walked in, you'd say that's an NFL body. He's got a wicked arm. Now, learning that system and all that, unclear, right? I mean, how long do you fit into that system and what they do? But they think he can be an absolute superstar. That's what everybody's talking about. I think the debate is how far along is he yet in the spring?
Well, I another question I have for Vanderbilt, Bill, is last year I saw the stat they were the oldest team in the SEC. Will that continue to be their trend? Or are they? How much guys are they losing? Are they? So does that mean they have to replace a lot of guys? Will they still be one of the oldest teams in the SEC next year?
They'll still be old. They portaled well. They portaled 3 offensive linemen, one from Pitt, who they particularly like, but they portaled 3 offensive linemen who were veterans, and they spend money. I'm not saying they spend A&M money or Texas Tech nowadays money, but no, they're liquid, and their running back situation is good. Their wide receiver situation is good. Defensively, they've had some really big tackles that I don't remember them getting historically. I think they're in good shape. Now, can they match winning 10 games as they did for the first time in their history? No, that's not going to happen again, probably. But I still think they're going to be a problem.
What's so let's go. I don't know how much how much of a rivalry it is, but let's go to Knoxville and the Tennessee Volunteers and Josh Heupel. Is everybody still receptive to Josh? I'm a Josh Heupel fan, Bill, so it might come across like I'm a apologist, but I like Josh Heupel. I like what he's doing. Is he kind of getting close to being on the hot seat? Has Vanderbilt overtaken Tennessee as the college game in town? Is the Tennessee Volunteers still the number 1 college football team in Tennessee?
Well, they're always going to be because of the alumni base. It's always going to be huge when it comes to fan support. Now, if we're just saying, what about the program? Vanderbilt beat them pretty significantly. It was about a tie game at halftime. Vanderbilt routed them in the second half and physically dominated them and out-athleted them and everything else. Out-coached them for sure. Tennessee's defense fell to pieces. So they've got their new defensive coordinator who was at Penn State with James Franklin, the one that had previously been at Ohio State. And that's Jim Knowles. And they portaled about 5 Penn State defensive starters who are going to start for Tennessee. I think they can win 8 games. I think their total, if you bet it, I think their total is 7.5, right in that area. They're not going to win 9 games. Their schedule is pretty wicked, but I think they can win 7, 8 games. And then their situation back to the quarterback is George McIntyre, who is the grandson of a former Vanderbilt coach in the early 80s, head coach George McIntyre. And then Faison Brandon, who's a quarterback out of Charlotte, a 5-star, who's been there since January. They're going to be incredibly young at quarterback, and you're probably going to lose again. As somebody who played it on your level, you're probably going to lose some games if you start a guy that's never played.
Yeah, and Mendoza, we see Arkansas baseball is kind of going through something like that right now at shortstop. You lose a guy like Vahiva Aloy, and you're like, well, maybe you can make it up in the numbers. It's like, no, man, that dude was amazing. I don't know whoever comes up next is going to be as good as what Mendoza was. He was so tough. There's a couple of hits he took that I've seen other quarterbacks not get up from hits like that.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. It's very, when you put up numbers like that, it's hard to say next guy's going to be okay. Very rarely is the next guy is good.
Well, it's going to be Josh Hoover, the TCU transfer. For people that don't know anything about Josh Hoover, what would be one thing that you would say? Is he a pocket passer? Is he more of a scrambler?
He's already got 10,000 total yards. before he gets to IU's campus. Now, he does turn it over some. I think the stat is he started 33 games at TCU, and he got about 45 turnovers. So if you want to find something and say, okay, I can promise you, and you know this as well as anybody, Coach Signetti not going to tolerate that crap.
Yeah, right.
He's a quarterback, but they'll put an end to that. So I would say he's a stat sheet stuffer, obviously. He is a passing quarterback. He's athletic enough to escape and buy time. He's not going to be a running quarterback for them. But he's a stat sheet stuffer. So they may put up more yards with him. I'm not saying he's a better prospect. He's probably not. But that one's going to be interesting, too.
Hey, we had a caller call in the first hour today, Bill, and because we were talking a little spring ball and talking a little Coach Silverfield, and they wanted to kind of get, like, what's the general synopsis on Coach Silver? If you're an Arkansas Razorback football fan, what should you expect? What would be the identity of a Coach Silverfield program?
A lot of points. I first got to know him. He recruited Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would exchange DMs through the years. And then he was the, I don't want to say just, but he was the offensive line coach, and then got elevated as the head coach and did a very good job there. So I would say he's offensive oriented. They'll be at Arkansas. You've got the resources, so they should be solid on defense too. But I would say points wise, you'll enjoy watching a Silverfield team play. No doubt.
Yeah, you pay attention to detail, tough, physical. Are you going to be fast? There's just certain prereqs you have to compete in the SEC. No question about it. Hey, speaking of another Arkansas guy, Coach Gus Malzahn is going to be. I guess him and Jeff Tedford got selected to be on the playoff committee. Is that good choices, or not really interested in it?
Well, I mean, I'm not against the news. I'm not against the decision.
Mm-hmm.
I've been since 2014, the beginning of the playoff era, against the concept of a committee. It's a horrible idea. So from that standpoint, anybody you would name I wouldn't like.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I have nothing against them. I think they'll do a nice, good, objective job.
Does that keep Gus? So do you think Gus is done coaching then? You taking a role like this?
Well, you never, in that world, those guys are so wired to coach, but I think he's running low on fumes.
Yeah.
That's what I saw in him. I think he's running low on fumes. He had his peak through the years at the stops he's made and has done a good job. I just don't see much more out of him.
Hey, will you watch any of the Masters, Bill? What's kind of on your TV, or what are you watching that's kind of got your interest over the next couple weeks?
It'll be on. I'm not a golf guy, though I know I'm in the minority on that one for sure. But I'll have on. I'm a college baseball guy. I'm a neophyte. I'm less than 10 years into it. On later in life, but I love it. So I'll have a bunch of college baseball games on, and I had the Florida-Arkansas series on. I had the Auburn-Alabama series on. I had the LSU-Kentucky series on, which got really contentious in that Game 3. So I have a lot of baseball on, and the Final Four.
And the Final Four. Who do you got as your national champion?
Well, Michigan's front court is something like 7-3, 6-10,
Ridiculous.
6-10.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? I guess Michigan, Dusty May.
I kind of have it, and this happens in a lot of the World Cup or college baseball, definitely in college basketball, where you're looking at the Final Four and you think, yeah, the winner of that game is better than the other two teams. And and I like Illinois,
probably.
but I think you're right. I think Michigan, Arizona, winner of that game probably wins it. Hey, Bill, man, thank you so much for some of your time today.
Thanks, appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. It's Bill King, Nashville Sports. Always love talking a little ball with Bill King. Unit, how's your bracket? What's your Final Four looking like?
Well, I relied heavily on Duke.
I had Duke winning it, so they're out. Yeah,
I should have learned my lesson from last year.
Did you have? Yeah,
because I thought they would get by Houston, and we know what happened. I thought Duke would win. I don't think I had Illinois.
No, I had Houston out of that side. I had Houston over Florida on that. I think a lot of people had Florida out of that side. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had Houston Houston beating Duke, and then I think I had Florida. But I tell you what, in the women's tournament, all the ones he made it. and this year it didn't happen that way. But I think it's kind of interesting when it's not all chalk, not all one seeds. Don't get me wrong, Illinois and UConn, I don't think anybody's necessarily shocked that they made it to the Final Four. Dan Hurley's got the winning tradition.
You got the magic touch, huh?
Illinois is a little bit of a surprise this year. I don't know how many people had Illinois going to the Final Four preseason. There's a lot of good teams in the Big Ten. Michigan obviously is one of them. Iowa surprised some people this year, but yeah, man, I think if I had to pick a team to win it all right at this second, I'd say Michigan probably. Arizona's tough. They can really score. I just don't know. I don't know if they've got the defense to beat Michigan. Michigan is going to make it really tough on them to score, and I just like their size. I like their size down low. But I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona won. UConn and Illinois is a little bit of a toss-up. Be interesting to see how it plays out.
I love it. Well, we're going to continue on. We're going to talk a little college basketball coming up after the break. If you want to get in with us, feel free to. You can text us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, or you can call us as well, 877-377-6963.
I went somewhere, they're calling him Billy Goat, saying, Billy Goat. I go, what?
This is Halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Match your down payment up to $2,000 this month only. It's part of the madness going on at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. Every vehicle on the lot gets matching down payments and special discounts this month only.
Yes, and Tommy, it's March Madness. You know what I mean? We've got truck month going on, matching down payments up to $2,000. We've got some 25s out there with thousands upon thousands of dollars in savings. We've got the inventory to choose from. It doesn't matter what you're looking for, car, truck, van, SUV, and we're going to match your down payment up to $2,000. Guys, if you want to eliminate some negative equity, if you want to lower your monthly payment, if you want to lower your interest rate, you get the pattern here, lower, 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 right? Hey, come and see us, Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford. Let us match your down payment. Let us get you that lower payment. Let us earn your business. Let us go to work for you, and let's get the vehicle that you want.
But you better make your deal before the end of the month. It's matching down payments at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw, online at harryrobinson.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
From the trail to the track, Wheeler Power Sports has been taking care of riders for generations. We're your factory-authorized home for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, KO, and the three-wheeled Slingshot. Looking for used bikes? We have a massive pre-owned inventory, and we're buying. Plus, check out our huge selection of apparel and accessories to gear up for your next ride. Follow us on Facebook to see the latest sales on Polaris Rangers and Kawasaki Z-Series bikes. Wheeler Power Sports and the Wheeler family, taking care of riders for generations in historic downtown Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Time is running out. This is your last chance to enter the Mach 1 Motorcycle Madness giveaway. Head to hitthatline.com and lock in your final 4 picks by Friday for your shot to win a brand new Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Pro. Then join us Saturday, April 11th at K1 Speed in Rogers, where one lucky winner rides away. While you're there, hit the track and race the fastest indoor karts in Northwest Arkansas, reaching speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. Don't wait. Get registered now at hitthatline.com and fill out your final 4 bracket. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right. Little Prince coming back on this beautiful Tuesday. A couple more segments left, man. We've had a fun show, Unit. You're crushing it as always. Thanks to Bill King for just stopping by just a little bit ago. Always love chatting with him. And our best transfer portal get ever, Fisherman Clay Henry, with us for a little bit as well. Always a joy getting to talk a little ball, a little fishing, just, little life, just hanging out, a couple mentions, chopping it up. And here we go. What do we got, Unit? What's next?
Cabbage Head.
Cabbage Head. What's up, dude?
Hey, guys, are y'all ready for the T-shirts I'm bringing you this year about the Armadillo Festival in Hamburg, Arkansas?
The Unit said that's his stomping ground back there.
I know, and I forgot to talk to him. He knows me, and I know him, but I don't see him a lot. But those guys in the afternoon, Ruskin and Zach, I never could catch up with them to give their shirts to them. But you guys, I caught you. I think you were doing a remote somewhere, and I got them. But that's coming up, and I'll try. What sizes do y'all need?
I believe the Unit's a 2X. I think Phil's a large, and I'm an XL.
All right.
Yeah,
that's no
okay,
problem.
sorry. The Unit's an XL. No 2Xs.
Okay, no 2Xs. Go down a little bit. Well, if you don't dry them, hang them up and dry themselves, they won't shrink as much. But anyway, that's a real neat festival they have down there in the little town of Hamburg, Arkansas, and boy, it's like a 4-day deal. And the Cabbage Heads play. The people like us down there, and not to say that there's a lot of old people that like that old music that we play, of course, but we like to go play Greenwood, Arkansas. Greenwood, they like us, and McGill and Fort Smith will be doing that this year under the bridge, and then at Greenwood with Mayor Doug, and we played the big party they had this year in Little Rock at the Robertson Center, I think, and it was Municipal League is who that was. But stuff going on, and you guys, you guys help us push the Armadillo Fest, and then we go to Oktoberfest in October. The Cabbage Heads will be up in Eureka Springs, playing that one right next to the hotel. But
where's your favorite
lots going on
perform?
with Cabbage Heads, and we're going to. The mayor wanted us to play his deal. We played that for like 40-something years. He gave us a letter and a plaque for having 40 years, and that was 3 years ago. So we're still in there. You know, we're hanging out. Another deal, Phil. I just this Tiger Woods. I'm not a golfer. Don't get me wrong. I don't play golf. Basketball, man. I just feel like when basketball season's over, it's a I don't know, man. It's just like I can't wait for football to start. You know what I mean? But I just can't understand why that guy does not hire him. It's not that he can't afford it. Don't you agree?
Tiger Woods, I think he left his driver in the bag.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. Both. I mean, there's no excuse for that, and you know that gets you thinking. Well, is he really that intelligent to make the money that he's made, and he's a good athlete and he's a good golfer, but man, get out from behind the wheel, because he's lucky that he hadn't hurt somebody, really, because he might not be alcohol, but he's taking other kinds of medicine for the injuries.
I thought he was taking her last name. I thought he was going to be Tiger Trump. Yeah, that's a good one. I just can't understand that. I mean, look at the money you guys make. Y'all got drivers, probably. You know. Y'all got them taking you down to Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Springdale, wherever, you know. But don't y'all? I don't know. I know that they've talked about it on. I watch a lot of Fox News, and they talked about that a lot yesterday and today. But it's true. It's true. He needs to have a driver on staff.
You've got a
that
driver.
Gets him to where he needs to be.
Don't you got a driver?
I'm sorry. Do what?
When y'all go perform, don't you have a driver?
Well, I do, but it's my son-in-law, and he's the drummer.
Oh.
So I carry a drum or two in, and yeah, I do, because I don't drive that much. And man, down in Hamburg at the Armadillo Festival, you know, that's about 5 hours, because I used to deer hunt down there at Hamburg and Crossett, and it's a pretty good run down there.
There's some good deer camps down there.
Huh?
Shamana Hall's one of them down there.
Oh yeah. Did you hunt down there?
I hunted there some growing
Yeah.
up. I wasn't a huge hunter, but I killed a few down there in Hamburg.
Oh gosh, it was really. I went with my preacher Don Moore. He was the preacher at Grand Avenue Baptist, and then Denny Snow. I hunted with him, and we went down there and had such a good time. And then I took my wife down there. Her cousin got married. She's got cousins in Hamburg, and I was going to show her the deer camp. Shoot, it was flush with the floor. Man, there was just a little old bitty building. We had a mess hall and a cooler to hang the deer in, and then a pen for the dogs, and all of it was gone. I bet the people just got old, and you know they have to pay. As you know, if you've hunted down there, you have to pay a lease now. You know, and you didn't used to have to do that. But for sportsmen that like to deer hunt, it's quite a it's different than what it used to be. But it's like everything else, man. Everything changes. You know.
Hey, Cabbage Heads, when's the next time you're playing? We're right up against the break, but tell the people when they can come see you.
Okay, well, let's see. We had a deal at the municipal at the hospital out at Chaffee Crossing, but there was something happened there that I've got to follow up on that one, and then I've got 2 or 3 things working on, but I don't feel like I should talk till I get
fair enough. No,
some. If I had them nailed down and had stuff, which I will, but I appreciate you guys taking my call, and as soon as I get the armadillo stuff, I'll get it to you.
Yes, sir, and thank you. Happy Easter, Cabbage Head. All right, Unit, let's hit the break. We'll come back and wrap this show up.
I just think if you don't get the donors, the Jerry Joneses, whoever can put the money in, it doesn't matter who you get as coach.
This is halftime. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
This is Northside head basketball coach Cody Wilmath. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
What a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
What's new at the Golf Nut in 2026? A lot. New tailor-made ID4 woods, hybrids, and irons are in stock January 29th. The all-new Ping G440K driver and Ping S259 wedges also arrive January 29th. And coming soon, Callaway Quantum Woods and Hybrids February 13th with irons landing February 27th. Step inside our newly remodeled retail space, check out the simulation bays, and experience our new fitting and lesson bay featuring 3 high-speed cameras filming at 120 frames per second. The Golf Nut, where your best game starts.
Calling the Hogs with 10,000 of your closest friends after a big home run, the smell of freshly cut grass on a perfect spring day, the buzz around college baseball's best ballpark for a big series, Arkansas Razorback baseball at Baum-Walker Stadium is unlike anything in the country. If you have tickets, make sure they're being used. Or if you need a ticket, visit ArkansasRazorbacks.com today to secure available seats. See you at the ballpark.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
putting on a drum show. Completed checklist for today. Now they have to let you out of here. Feeling stuck between a rock and a hole. Two places you do not want to go. So. He's putting on a drum show. Even now, you're taking it away home. Even now, you'll never ever say so. You try as fast as you feel it. You try to slow, your song's not over. Shout it out.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Woo! Putting on a drum show. I like that one right there. I don't really know too much about 21 Pilots, but that was a little banger. Man, what a fun show today, Unit. Good work today, as always. Check this out. March 31st, 1994. This date in sports. Former NBA superstar, Galactico is what I like to call him, Michael Jordan signs with the Birmingham Barons AA baseball. Wow.
What do you think that hurt or helped his legacy? Just by
an athlete and as a competitor and as a player, it would be like saying, did Nick Saban going to coach the Dolphins hurt his legacy? No, he went and played. Yeah. It's so hard to be good at one sport and to make it professionally, and then the fact that he gave it a shot at the second sport. Now, the story behind why he did that and you'd kind of like to know the real truth. Yeah. If he was blackballed from the NBA for a couple years, or if it had something to do with his dad's passing, had something to do with gambling allegations. There's all these things you hear, but the fact that he was able to kind of do that was
the timing of it was a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Just when they won 3 in a row, and then it's like, I'm going to go play baseball, but he ended up coming back and winning 3 more. So I mean, to me, it adds to the lore a little bit.
I'm with you right there.
I wish he'd have played for the Cubs. That would have been a lot cooler. But
well, he got to play with one of my favorites, Francona, who was the coach of the Red Sox for years. Coach, is he the manager for the Indians anymore, or no?
No, but I know he was their manager when they went to the World Series.
He was the manager when Jordan played for the Barons.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be pretty cool as well. What do you got going the rest of the day, Unit?
What am I going to do? Probably not a whole lot. I like to get out in this weather.
How's the pup doing?
So, yeah, me and the dog usually will take a walk and just enjoy the weather and that type of thing and get some exercise in, But, yeah, I think the Razorbacks baseball team plays today. I'm probably going to watch some of that.
You know who's playing right now? Italy. Mm-hmm. Soccer club. I'm gonna have to go in and check out Italy here. I'll probably get to check out the second half. But yeah, that'd be cool. Who's on the bump tonight or this afternoon for Arkansas?
That's a good question, man.
Because don't they usually throw a younger cat?
Yeah, they typically don't. They're not gonna throw one of their better pitchers, but I think sometimes they'll throw a guy that they want to kind of see become a starter at some point in the season. The pitching has been pretty okay for the most part. Right now they just need to win. They need to win a game. Getting swept at home, you just want to get back on the winning track.
In the words of the late great Al Davis, just win, baby, just win. All right, hey, had a fun show. Everybody be cool, and we'll see you around.